standard.
One time. Lego.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Doing Dating Right Show. I'm your host, Ashley Empowers.
And I'm your other host, Carrington.
And on this show, we answer the questions that you guys send in about relationships, your walk with God, or anything in general. And today, I am going to read the question. So the question says, my husband and I have been married for 20 years now. We got married super young. Throughout most of our marriage, he has turned outward to other women online or porn. While working from home because of COVID, I recently caught him. While working from home because of the pandemic, I recently caught him watching porn in his office. I was devastated. He swore that he wasn't doing anything like that anymore. I caught him having sexual conversations with women online 7 years ago. When I confronted him, at first he denied that what I had seen was porn and then quickly owned up to it. He told me after I caught him the last time, he stopped talking to women online and now just looks at porn. So for 7 years, he's been doing this. And to make matters even worse, we do not have a sex life at all. He says that he wants to have sex with me, but that he is scared of being judged and rejected. It's been over 7 years since we've had sex. And believe me, I have the same insecurities that he has. I have been patient with him, feeling comfortable, and I was okay continuing to wait until he felt better. But then to find out he is regularly watching and looking at porn was quite a blow. He says that he doesn't even know why he does it. He knows it's damaging. He says it doesn't even excite him. I don't believe it, to be honest, because he does it often and it's been for years. After this big fight, he told me that he doesn't know whether or not he can stay married to me. He says that he was sexually repressed as a teenager and literally thought he would go to hell if he had a girlfriend, let alone have sex with one. So because he says he had so many regrets, he missed out on having sex when he was younger, he wants that kind of life now. He says he loves me and thought of not being married to me is devastating to him. But he doesn't think he can get over not having had sex with a lot of women. I'm literally at a loss. When I discovered the porn this most recent time, I thought we would work through it again. There was a part of me that is so mad at his reasoning. I have stood by this man's side through thick and thin. He stayed in a sexless marriage because I love him. After he said all this to me, I told him that I feel like we needed some time apart to think on things. He doesn't want me to leave. He says it will make him feel abandoned and trigger his fear of being gone forever. He said it will prevent him from working on himself to see whether or not if he could stay married to me. Part of me really doesn't care because this isn't just about his feelings and his fears. I'm going through this too. Am I wrong that I want to separate for a little while just to think on things? I worry if I do what is right for me, he will end up divorcing me. Wow.
Well, he ain't been thinking about you no way, so I don't know why you thinking about him. Listen, okay. Thank you so much for sending this email. First things first. Y'all been married too. He too old to be thinking like that. Mm-hmm. The Bible say when I was a child, I thought like a child, act like a child, spake like a child, reasoned like a child. When I became a man, threw away childish things. Mm-hmm. He still ain't throwing away childish things. The mindset and perspective of, man, I feel bad because I didn't have sex with a lot of women. That's kid thinking. Mm. That's immaturity. Right? So one of the challenges is you have an immature man that you're in a relationship with that has childish desires that are still there. Next thing is this. When you talk about you guys not being intimate for 7 years and him engaging in porn and communicating with other women for 7 years, that's why y'all ain't been intimate for 7 years. Mm-hmm. Because what happens is this. When you watch porn, it creates an unhealthy desire and an unhealthy appetite. And when you engage in pornography, your partner is not attracted to you anymore. you don't desire your partner anymore because you're fulfilling the need to express yourself sexually rather than with your spouse with these women that you're watching from a pornography perspective. And when he says that he doesn't know why he does it, he doesn't even find enjoyment and excitement in it, I understand that, right? A lot of y'all know a piece of my story, but I used to struggle with it as well. And what happens is this: pornography addictions transition from being a lust thing to a habit thing. When you do it for so long, you created the habit of, once I feel this or experience this or this happens, then I go to this thing. And so he's in a position where if he desires for this marriage to work, he got to break the habits. He got to let go of the childish things. He got to get some therapy. He got to get some counseling. And he has to be intentional about breaking himself away from everybody, everything, website, TV shows, music, people, whatever he's connected to that's causing him to be attracted and tempted to go back into these things.
Yes, and for me, like what I'm thinking, there needs to be an undoing.
Yeah.
Because someone who's been rooted in pornography for 7 years that you know of, I guarantee he's been doing this a lifetime.
100%.
It's going to be very 20. Yeah, it's going to be hard for him to break those habits, like Carrington said. So you really do need a third party to come in. You're saying, the question you're asking is, is it wrong that you want to take a little separation to think on things? Y'all have been separated pretty much for 7 years. I mean, being in a sexless marriage, having a man who's entertaining other women online, that is a separation. So before you actually move out or do anything like that, you really need a third party, because like you said, his reasoning makes absolutely no sense.
100%.
But if you have someone who has an unbiased opinion, who can come in and speak life and really analyze this situation, you'll know if there's even still hope here. Because at the end of the day, it's your choice.
100.
Do you still want to continue to be in a relationship that is a sexless marriage, that the man is rooted in pornography, that his mind is filled with lust, his heart is filled with lust, and he feels like him not having a wild youth sexually, he feels like he's missing out, and his mind goes to that place. It sounds like a demonic attack to me.
100%.
So the fact of the matter is, either you're going to fight and work with him, which is going to be a battle, having someone whose mind is in such a dark place, or you're going to say, I'm going to move on from this relationship.
But the word of hope is this: it's not over. Because you guys are still married, that means it's still possible for this to be better. And listen, sis, I've worked with multiple married couples that have a situation like this, and even, not to compare, but even some worse situations, and have assisted them with dealing with themselves individually so that they can come together and do better and be better as a husband and a wife. And so what I would advise that you guys do is click the link in the description box below to schedule a consultation with me so that we can discuss and dissect where you guys currently are, where you desire to be, and then create a plan and put it in place to get you guys to a place of having a happy, healthy, whole, thriving, and transparent marriage that is the true reflection of the love of Jesus Christ and what the love that he has for the church.
The link is linked down below. For those of you who have additional questions for us, email us at info@802gametime.com, and we'll see you next time.
Peace out, y'all.